Frozen meals can be a lifesaver, but did you know some of them might be silently damaging your health? Especially if you're over 60, certain frozen foods can sabotage your heart, joints, and even your memory. But here's the twist, not all frozen meals are bad. In fact, some are absolutely essential for daily strength and longevity. Let's unpack the 4 worst frozen foods seniors should avoid, and the 4 best you should be eating daily. I'm Dr. Eduard Sputnik, a nutritionist specialized in senior health and nutrition. And where are you watching from? Drop it in the comments and stick around because I have a surprise for you at the end. If you're tired of confusing labels and want to shop smarter, this video will make your next grocery run a whole lot easier. Let's start with the big picture. Many frozen foods are loaded with preservatives, sodium, and hidden sugars. These can trigger inflammation, raise blood pressure, and drain your energy. But here's the good news. The freezer aisle also contains powerful nutritional allies if you know where to look. In this video, we'll walk through the worst offenders first, the meals that might look healthy but wreak havoc behind the scenes. Then, we'll reveal 4 frozen foods that support muscle, brain, and immune function, especially for aging bodies. You'll learn how to spot quality and avoid the traps. You don't need to give up convenience to eat well. With the right picks, your freezer can become a tool for longevity and vitality. From anti-inflammatory meals to brain-boosting sides, we've got you covered. All backed by science and explained in plain English. Follow the channel and stay close, because the first frozen food you should never bring home might already be sitting in your freezer right now. Let's dive into it. Let's start with one of the most misleading items in the frozen aisle, frozen breaded chicken patties. They may seem like a quick protein fix, but they are loaded with saturated fat, sodium, and chemical preservatives. For seniors, that combination is a recipe for inflammation, high blood pressure, and unnecessary weight gain, all of which accelerate aging from the inside out. What makes these patties especially dangerous is the breading. It's often made from refined flour and deep-fried before freezing, turning a simple protein source into a high-calorie, low-nutrient trap. Even worse, many brands add flavor enhancers like monosodium glutamate, MSG, which can trigger headaches and digestive issues in sensitive individuals. Another hidden problem? Sodium content. A single patty can pack over 600 milligrams of sodium, about a third of the recommended daily limit for older adults. When eaten regularly, this can put significant strain on the kidneys and heart. And let's not forget, sodium-rich foods can also lead to fluid retention and joint swelling, making movement more difficult. Many seniors choose these products thinking they are light or lean, especially if labeled with words like grilled or white meat. But don't be fooled. The processing cancels out any natural benefits of the chicken itself. It's the preparation and additives that make it harmful, not the meat alone. If you're craving a quick chicken meal, there are better options coming up in this video. But this first one? It's a clear no. Removing it from your freezer can make room for foods that actually support your energy, strength, and memory. Small changes like this create big improvements over time. And speaking of surprises, the next frozen food to avoid is even more common, and often found in healthy dinner combos marketed to seniors. Stick with me. Next up is something that hides behind heart-healthy labels but delivers the opposite: frozen vegetable stir-fry kits with sauce packets. At first glance, these seem like a great way to get more veggies into your diet. But once you read the label, the truth becomes clear: these meals are often drenched in sugar, sodium, and unhealthy oils that counteract any benefits the vegetables might offer. The real culprit isn't the vegetables, it's the sauce. Most of these kits include thick, glossy sauces made from soybean oil, high-fructose corn syrup, and preservatives. Even a small serving can contain over 800 milligrams of sodium and 10 grams of added sugar. That's enough to spike blood pressure and blood sugar levels, especially in aging adults with slower metabolism. Soybean oil, which is common in these kits, is high in omega-6 fats. While not bad in moderation, too much omega-6 and not enough omega-3 creates a pro-inflammatory environment in the body. For seniors dealing with arthritis, brain fog, or heart issues, this imbalance can make symptoms worse without them even realizing the cause. Another concern is portion control. These stir-fry kits often suggest multiple servings per bag, but in reality, many seniors eat the entire package as a meal. That means double or triple the sugar, salt, and poor-quality fat, leading to bloating, fatigue, and long-term strain on the cardiovascular system. It's frustrating because frozen veggies themselves are excellent. They are often flash frozen at peak ripeness and retain most of their nutrients. But once drenched in commercial sauces, their benefits are buried under additives your body doesn't need. There's a better way to enjoy frozen vegetables, and I'll show you how in the second half of this video. But first, we need to tackle 2 more frozen foods that can quietly sabotage your health, starting with one that's often seen as comforting but is anything but. Frozen pot pies may remind you of home-cooked comfort, but for seniors, they're one of the worst offenders in the freezer aisle. These savory meals are loaded with trans fats, refined carbs, and extreme levels of sodium. And while they might satisfy a craving, they silently work against nearly every system in the aging body, from your heart to your brain to your joints. One of the biggest problems is the crust. It's made from white flour, hydrogenated oils, and artificial stabilizers. These ingredients spike blood sugar and contribute to chronic inflammation, which is already a concern for most seniors. The filling isn't much better, usually made with processed meats and sauces thickened with starch and preservatives. A single pot pie can contain over 1,000 calories, 50 grams of fat, and more sodium than you should consume in an entire day. That's not a meal, it's a metabolic bomb. For older adults managing diabetes, heart disease, or kidney issues, this can lead to immediate complications like fluid retention, spikes in blood pressure, and even dizziness. Even brands that claim to be reduced fat or made with real ingredients often rely on chemical preservatives to extend shelf life. These additives may disrupt gut health and, in some cases, impair nutrient absorption. Over time, that means weaker immunity, slower recovery, and less energy for the things you love. There's also a psychological trap. Pot pies feel like a full meal, but they are nutritionally hollow. They often lack fiber, antioxidants, and quality protein. That leads to a short burst of satisfaction followed by hunger, fatigue, and sometimes, regret. Not exactly the formula for healthy aging. We're almost through the danger zone, just one more frozen food you should keep out of your kitchen. And right after that, we'll flip the script and reveal the 4 frozen foods seniors should eat every single day to stay strong, sharp, and independent. Last on the do not touch list is a sneaky one: frozen breakfast sandwiches. They seem harmless: eggs, cheese, maybe some sausage or bacon tucked between an English muffin. But dig into the label and you'll see why this breakfast shortcut can quietly drain your energy and harm your long-term health. For seniors, it's a combination of poor-quality ingredients, excessive sodium, and inflammatory additives. Most frozen breakfast sandwiches use processed meats like sausage or bacon, which are high in saturated fats and nitrates. These compounds are linked to increased risk of heart disease and certain cancers, especially when consumed regularly. The eggs used are often powdered or pre-cooked with preservatives, reducing their nutritional value. The bread is another weak point. Typically made from bleached white flour, it offers little to no fiber, and often includes added sugars to improve flavor and texture. Combined with high-fat meat and cheese, this creates a high-calorie, low-nutrient meal that spikes blood sugar and then leaves you crashing mid-morning. Sodium content is also through the roof. Many frozen breakfast sandwiches pack over 800 to 1,000 milligrams of sodium each. That's nearly half the daily recommended intake in one quick bite. For seniors managing blood pressure or kidney function, that's a serious concern, especially if this becomes a daily habit. What's worse, these sandwiches are often marketed as high-protein or on-the-go solutions for busy mornings. But in reality, they offer little in terms of sustained energy, muscle support, or brain health. They're the kind of food that fills you up, but slows you down in every other way. Now that we've cleared the worst items off the list, it's time to shift focus. Because your freezer isn't the enemy, it can actually be one of your best health allies. In the next section, you'll discover the 4 frozen foods seniors should eat every single day. And some of them might already be in your home. Let's flip the script with a frozen food that deserves a spot in every senior's kitchen: frozen wild blueberries. These tiny berries are antioxidant powerhouses that support brain health, reduce inflammation, and improve circulation. And because they are frozen at peak ripeness, they retain almost all their nutrients, sometimes even more than fresh berries that have been sitting on store shelves. Wild blueberries are rich in anthocyanins, a class of plant compounds linked to better memory, slower cognitive decline, and enhanced blood flow to the brain. That makes them especially valuable for older adults concerned about dementia or brain fog. Just half a cup a day can provide a meaningful dose of brain-boosting nutrients. They also contain natural fiber and vitamin C, which support gut health and immunity, two areas that weaken with age. The fiber helps regulate digestion and blood sugar, while the vitamin C promotes collagen production and keeps the immune system sharp and responsive. Frozen wild blueberries are incredibly versatile. You can blend them into smoothies, stir them into oatmeal, or even warm them slightly and drizzle over yogurt. Unlike many fruits, they don't spike blood sugar dramatically, making them a safe option even for those with diabetes or insulin resistance. Another big advantage? Shelf life. A single bag can last months in the freezer, meaning you always have a reliable source of antioxidants on hand. This is especially helpful for seniors with limited mobility or those who shop less frequently. And we're just getting started. There are 3 more frozen foods that can help you build muscle, support joint health, and even protect your heart. The next one is often overlooked, but it might be the most complete meal in your entire freezer.